Yo, what's up? Okay, we are finally back. We have some time. The schedule ban and restricted announcement is out. Almost most of the cards from high seas is out, so we have so many things to do. We're going to do a quick recap of the ban and restricted announcement. I was waiting until 4 or something yesterday for it to show up, and we're then going to tinker with a lot of the new heroes, and we might talk a bit about what do we think are the biggest winners regarding this ban and restricted announcement. So, in case you missed it, the scheduled ban and restricted announcement that happened 8 hours ago or something like that had these new ban and restricted that will probably stay live until the nationals. Next, it's June 30. Yeah, so I think that means until the national season is done, we won't have another ban and restricted announcement. So unless a living legend point and unless a living legend happens, that means no other changes will happen during the national seasons and the first week callings. So Count Your Blessings is completely banned. Apparently they weren't even happy with simply nerfing the card. I mean, it makes some sense. I mean, I can totally see. So the TLDR of what they're saying is that even though the card wasn't too powerful, it was creating a lot of degenerate strategies, and whenever a new defensive card showed up, you were like, okay, now let's test the counter blessing things. So that was a bit annoying. That was too annoying, and I think I agree with that, because honestly that was the same thing that came to my mind, that we got the new 4 value block card. Yeah, let's try and build a brute and run 15 defense reactions and blessings and see what happens. So I can totally see why they would do that. Count the blessings. So Germinate is banned. So I don't know about you. I mean, I know that the numbers from LSS were that Florian was quite powerful. I think in my local meta game, Florian, I wouldn't say overperformed. It was really interesting with Florian back in the London when that Florian was being really toe-to-toe with Aurora. So, Florian was really going toe-to-toe with Aurora, and that was quite interesting. But now, it's definitely the best deck in the format. I don't know if it was that powerful. Between Germinate and Scepter, I agree with Scepter 100%. I think that strategy is interesting, but it shouldn't be that one-dimensional, I think. I don't think simply slamming every single D-React and Rune Generation should make a deck. So I'm happy with Scepter of Pain that is banned, and you stop the Rock Paper Scissors in big events. So regarding the Germinate, so the most things with Germinate is that it's a feel-good card for Florian. It's a non-attack 3-block that's a blue. So there are not many other cards that can fill this spot. And sometimes if you have flipped and you gain some tempo, you could play a Germinate and win the game. So it's not like it creates a problem that Florian won't have an answer to. But I think if Germinate is getting banned and Florian gets nothing in high seas, I think that would be a bit rash as a decision. But we really need to wait and see the card that Florian is supposed to get in high seas. Yeah, secondly, there is a card in the high seas expansion slot that you have not seen yet, which is both an effective replacement for and a brutal combination with Germinate. Given Florian's current success, we've decided not to allow both cards to be legal at the same time. So that most likely means that it's a non-attack with Go again, if I'm reading correctly between the lines, but we'll see. Yo, to Magic, what's up? Most unsating the meta banner restricted has ever printed. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was expecting much bigger changes as well. I mean, they hyped us to oblivion. It will shake the Greek meta game. That's true. I mean, but at this point, I think the problem with LSS now is that at this point we shouldn't give them credit when they are we shouldn't give them that much credit when they are doing these big announcements, because I mean, at least the 3 to 4 last times it feels like bait. So yeah, I mean, Team Magic, there is literally a ninja village in Athens, so like, you know, the moment ban unrestricted, you know, announced that Bonds is no longer banned, like most likely half our nationals is going to be ninja. That's pretty likely. The goat is back. Yeah, so, and the Bonds of Ancestry unbanned, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because Katsu was horrible, you know. Katsu was really weak, and now Bonds of Ancestry might give him a way to combat. I mean, in the previous ProQuest season I played a bit with Katsu, and the deck feels okay-ish, but the problem was that you never had this extra card you need from Bonds to actually pull off the big turns, or you know, the double dishonor turns and stuff. And I think red Bonds is a good unban, and I don't think Katsu is that powerful that it will become a problem. No Prism Jarl seem kinda banned. Katsu has many bad matchups in this metagame nonetheless. No Prism Jarl. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but I guess the main reason is that you will be a deck that can run momentum, and Necromancer seems super real. Necro seems super real. So Katsu is unfavored in all the top meta decks. Can most likely burns him to the ground. I mean, Katsu traditionally has a pretty good matchup in the Kano. Traditionally. I have no idea what happens now. Yeah, I mean, the new Gust Wave is really cute, and with Bonds you have an extra card that can help you set this up, and you know, retrace the past, can set up some Break the Tides or some Dishonors, you know, the deck can do some things. But probably, yeah, what you're saying is correct. There is probably no way you can beat the Florian as Katsu. Katsu matchup in the Kano is this. Can you dishonor Kano up to turn 3? No, die then. Yeah. But that's the thing, it's quite easy sometimes to dishonor. TCG Talk, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the degenerate scheduled banner restricted announcement review. Okay, so my biggest surprise, I mean, I've discussed with this a lot in my locals and, you know, with other players. This is my opinion on copying. Without Scepter Germ, slow build Katsu is slightly favored into Florian. Slow build Katsu is slightly favored into Florian. You can tutor blue bonds through links. Only red bonds got banned. This is my opinion. Maybe, I'm not so sure. I never developed, I never tested, you know, the slower version of Katsu. So maybe you can try and set up a second cycle type of thing, and now, you know, Florian might have some problems killing you if you play defensively, and then you can beat him. Maybe that could be the case, I agree. Without the slow Florian build, but we shall see. Midrange Katsu is worse Ira. Not exact. It's Ira with hit effects, and it's a big difference there. I mean, that was always the thing with Katsu. But Gentile is not exactly mid-range. It's more like that you try to clean your deck throughout your whole DD acts and your bad cards, and then you get to a scenario where whatever you draw combos with itself, which is not the worst idea in the world. Hello, fellow gamers. Yo, what's up, Craftism? So, yeah. The biggest, the weirdest thing to me, and I've discussed that with, we're talking about what deck? We were talking about Katsu. The weirdest thing to me was that Death Dealer was still legal. And I've discussed that with a lot of players locally, you know, I've been chanting about that I was never expecting Marlin to be legal with Death Dealer. It's not like she will be legal with Death Dealer for a lot, but I was expecting something like a non-honorary, you know, Living Legend, or a non-honorary ban of the weapon. Because that changes things a lot, I think, for Marlin. So Azalea is at 931, so it's quite realistic that she won't survive the national season. But that will create a weird equilibrium where if Marlin gets a very powerful deck with Death Dealer, it will die in the middle of the season. So, there were some other decks I wanted to try out, but I think we should try with Marlin. The next banner restricted is like the last 3 days of June. It will be legal Monday after or not. Yeah. That's the thing. The next banner restricted announcement will not touch the national season. Marlin doesn't need to run that many pumps since he already has one in the weapon. Yeah, Crafty, I agree. Let me show you my list. I think you're the bit with, you know, the Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon with Marlin. But I was quite it felt quite underperforming. There are still a lot of things I want to test out, so this list is by no means a refined list, but the problem was that there were too many implications that weren't happening while running the deck. So sometimes I couldn't reload, you know, sometimes I had return fire, and I think even though return fire seems insanely powerful, I think we need to clear our heads regarding how to use this card, but this card definitely seems powerful. And we're missing a bit of a glue from the deck. Big game seems a bit bad from what I've played. Maybe it is, but I wanted to test out with Big Game Trophy. The thing is that you get a free reload, and sometimes that's good enough, and you don't have much gold generation, so, and you would like to have a few cards that generate gold, and Big Game Trophy looked like a card that it was the less painful to actually generate some gold with. So that's why I like Big Game Trophy a lot. So I've been quite impressed with Loan Shark. Loan Shark seems quite a powerful card. Until yesterday I was running Tunic, but I think I want to start testing the trends with Return Fire. because I feel like there are many situations where I wouldn't mind cleaning my arsenal to either trigger return fire or codex or whatever, and that might help me do a second cycle a bit easier, because it feels like there are a lot of games will go slow with Marilyn. We'll see. I think we're probably going to play a few games with Marilyn today. But that's the thing now. I think we are going to leave that list as it is, and we are going to go and make a Marilyn with Death Dealer and see what's what's the best way to abuse Death Dealer as Marilyn. This is my deck list. I'm not that good of a deck builder or adapter, but it felt decent from what I goldfished. Let's check this out. Okay, so we have 6 Bolton Shot, Hit Seeker, Relays with Blood Rot, Inertia, Monkey Powder. Okay, Return Fire, Seek and Destroy. Oh, but that's 71 cards. Yeah, well, look, I think you can't have both plans seen. I don't think you can run a lot of non-attacks. Still very much at the start. Yeah, agree. I think you can't afford to run too many non-attacks. I think Monkey Powder is a bit of a bait. I mean, this card effectively cycles itself and gives +1 overpower. If it was a random blue, the only thing that this card does is that you get a free reload. If you feel like you need a free reload, maybe Monkey Powder is good enough. But I think you should have other ways to reload, I think, compared to Monkey Powder. I mean, even the reload, even take aim, I think it's better compared to that. And I think 3 of a kind is a must. I think 3 of a kind is a centerpiece in this deck, because sometimes you simply use it for the reload, which is insane, and sometimes you simply reload and get the resources to actually activate the Hammerhead. So let's build the dealer list. I agree, mine is a bit rough. Also, 3 of a kind and Premeditate is missing, I agree. Premeditate, maybe not. Maybe you're not supposed to run many non-attacks. Maybe you are simply supposed, to run almost 0 buffs. Maybe, who knows. It's a bit too early. Okay, so we want... Okay, since we're using Death Dealer, I guess it's illegal not to use Tunic. We want Ranger and New Horizons, and I'm guessing Snapdragons. So with Death Dealer, if we have no cards in arsenal, I'll put an arrow and draw, and with draw we get a reload out of Marilyn. So I think we simply want to play a quite wide list with some good interaction with Tunic. So it looks like a traditional New Horizon aggro Azalea, but rather than switching our arsenal, we get access to 3 of a kind and an extra reload. Okay, so my guess is that we should go giga heavy on the arrows, I guess. Let's get a quiver. We'll see if we have the blues to support the quiver. I think we still run Quiver of Rusting Leaves. And go again, yeah. So I guess the easiest thing is that we obviously add the 9 copies of Bolting Shot. We want rain razors. We want endless. We want searing shot. Premeditate. And we want the ranger go again arrows. So we definitely want Falcon. In the list I made without Death Dealer, I didn't use the Seekem Shot, but I think in this list Seekem Shot is a much better extender than a buff. So I think we should use Seekem Shot. Be of a kind. Okay, so I think that's pretty much the core of the deck. So here we have a few options. So option number one is that we transform into a more traditional ranger and we increase our number of buffs a lot by adding, Seek and Destroy. I don't have many left, Takar. So we increase our buffs a lot. So that's the game plan number one. The other game plan is that we add some blues and we attempt to run the boots that give go again to every single arrow. And we run perch grapplers. But that means our probably turn by turn cycle value will be worst. But we get a combo turn. Maybe we can afford to run both of these game plans and simply for it to be a sideboard plan. An expansion slot. Aha! Regardless enable some like the Gen crab. Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe versus decks that you're afraid you might get fatigued. You can run things like Purge Grapplers and, 2 copies of Lone Shark and... So I think we should simply go for the traditional aggressive list now. I think we should simply get the most value we can get from these cards. So let's go in the all-in aggressive, and if we have a problem with fatigue, you might side in something different. The only thing I do not like with this list is that it feels like it's not a Marilyn, it's more like an Azala in disguise. An Azala with a pirate hat. Do we still want scalers? Strong dudes go again on the blues and also block. Yeah, the thing is that, so in the traditional list, the great thing that Sarang does is that it wants you to add more blues to your deck, and that's a great thing because the extra blues you get, you use them on the Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon. But I think that's one archetype, and now we're trying to go with the Abuse the Death Dealer archetype and see if the hero power of Marilyn is powerful enough. And mainly, it's pretty much Azalea without the hero power of Azalea, but having access to 3 of a kind. That's pretty much the deck. So is it good enough? I don't know, but we've used to play a lot of New Horizons Azalea, so Marilyn feels closer to that with a few implications, but compared to the New Horizons Azalea we used in Warsaw, it feels like it's going to be pretty much the same deck, but rather than Codex of Inertia, you have 3 of a kind, which is, it's beyond bunkers. The 3 of a kind, if you, in a more trading style of gameplay where you need to block a lot and then you can play 3 of a kind to regain your hand and still have a turn, it's insane. Yeah, I mean, and also there is a question that we can maybe even include like a few copies of Rapid Fire, but that's the problem. If we add Rapid Fire, we make our turn by turn damage worse. If we don't add Rapid Fire, But maybe we have 6 arrows with Go again, we have 9 copies of Bolt and Shot. Maybe we don't need anything else to make 3 of a kind good. Maybe simply Rain Razors into 3 of a kind is a good of a setup already. So that means we should add a few more buffs into the deck. We have Premeditate, we have Lace with Bloodrot. I want to still test the Return Fire. Maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense with this deck because we're going to draw a lot of random cards with Death Dealer. But with the OG Azalea, we drew a card with Death Dealer. And that random card, if it was an arrow, it simply ended up in Arsenal and then it was getting kicked away. But now it might get stuck in Arsenal nevertheless. So maybe we need a few more ways to give Go again in order to be able to clean our Arsenal. Or is Falcon Wing? Is Falcon Wing and Seek and Shot enough? No, I think we can't afford to run Return Fire, unfortunately. Even though it's a great card, it feels like we can't afford to run this. If we want to go to the linear, aggressive play style with this deck, I don't think we can afford to run a block card. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 24 arrows. Posing the trips is the truth. That sounds fancy. Let's add the drill shirt. You may untap a bow you control. So we didn't see any changes regarding rules, but I'm guessing we're going to see that on the high seas. I still consider that there is a pretty low chance that LSS is going to make every single one of those effects that says once per turn, it's going to turn it into a tap. And that would be really interesting. It's going to like errata every single effect to make it more clean to the older and newer, symbolism. If that's the case, and Fire in the Hole untaps the Death Dealer, that's going to be beyond broken. That seems too strong in some cases. Yeah, probably so. I think I agree. And maybe they won't do that because literally, like untapping Das.io, alright, that would be insane. Whoa. Untap Das.io, that's right. Sigil of Cycles. I think Sigil of Cycles is a necro card. I don't think you need to go this deep with Marilyn. The only blue I enjoyed running was the Get a Beer one. No, it's not Ranger, it's Pirate. Yeah, the Tip the Bartender is the only blue I think I actually consider in this deck. Because yeah, sometimes it will give us an extra Snapdragon. Let's add 2 copies. I don't like the fact that we have 5 blues. Can we run Thry-Shot? Can we run Thry-Shot and 2 copies of Rapid Fire? Or am I going too deep into the tank? Yeah, I feel like You know what? Okay, let's listen to our heart. Let's add the 3 copies of rapid fire. And that means it should be pretty much our only extender. Our extenders are, you know, arrows, go again, and that's it. Remorseless, yeah, okay, let's add the remorseless, I agree. And ranger, so I think we should add pathing helix now. They have pathing helix already. Okay, pathing helix is already in. And we have a decent number of yellows. Maybe we can run infecting as well. Okay, if we don't add infecting, what's our zero cost option? Our zero cost option is Merkmire Grapplel. So we either Merkmire or we add infecting. So currently we have 1, 2, 3 arrows that cost 1. Traps. What do you mean traps? Yeah, I think I think pretty much we are only looking to pitch whenever we are either pitching a yellow for Death Dealer for a 1 cost or we are pitching for 3 of a kind. I don't think there is any other situation where we want to pitch. So I think if that's the case, we should add the Merkmire. Yeah, I mean, on sideboard it really depends. I mean, we have no idea what to expect in general, but yeah, you're playing Ranger, there are a lot of cards you can have access to in sideboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what am I missing? Arms. Yo, what's up, Akuma? Okay, so Pain Death. Yeah, okay, in sideboard, I guess we can run some traps. I mean, okay, Steel Tarpy Trap is a great card to combat assassins. I think in this list we can also run the other quiver. Is it too much to run 3 quivers? It's 0%, that's correct, but maybe? I don't care about Warmongers with this deck as much as I care about Warmongers with other Ranger decks. So I don't think we need one of the other arms. And I guess maybe we can add a more setupy deck and like add Lone Shark. Like 2 copies of Lone Shark, 1 copy of Ram. One E-Pot. And the other boots. And that's our anti-fatigue game plan. Money in your mouth. Money where your mouth is. Money in your mouth is quite weird. Yeah, I mean, with the card pool we currently have access to, I don't really like the gold generation cards. So there are still some slots that maybe we are lucky enough to get some more cards. Like here there is one more Majestic that hopefully helps with the gold generation. Here there is an extra rare, probably. And here we have probably some equipment. Probably the generic ranger cards won't help a lot with gold generation, but hopefully we get, you know, a few more cards that make it realistic to generate some gold. I think you may also be playing too many non-attack pumps for a 3 of a kind build. So you think that 6, 9 is too many and we have Rain Razors? 9, 12. Yeah, effectively we have 15. But 3 of a kind is also good sometimes with pumps, because sometimes you simply play the non-attacks and then you play the 3 of a kind. But I can see your skepticism, and that means that we can cut the rapid fire. Lexi was playing 3, 6 plus Rain Razors, if I recall. Yeah, but that's the big difference. That Lexi, the problem was that Lexi could give go again to Bolt and shot simply with the weapon, and we can't do that. We can't give go again to Bolt and shot manually with Death Dealer. And the best use of Death Dealer is that you draw, and the perfect sequencing is that we play a bunch of buffs with Death Dealer draw, we load a second arrow, and we play one arrow with go again and one normal arrow, or something like that. The Sasuke was busted with her, yeah. What spicy one-off we can use? One spicy one-off. One infecting shot. Fetch with Codex. Yeah, but... So if we consider Falcon Wing and Sikkim Shot also an extender, that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s, 8.5. So we have 23 cards that extend our turn. That's a bit low, actually. We have 23 cards that extend our turn. 26 if you count the Codex of Frailty. So half our deck is arrows. Yeah, but on the top 26, there are also 9 bolting shots. So it goes up to 35. 35 ways to extend our hands seems correct. And we block quite well. Okay, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Yeah, we can add some more. I have no idea what extra cards we need. What is Azalea? Oh, it won't be legal now, but there is no way we are building a deck without the new aura that attacks allies. Even if we 3 of a kind or something. Yeah, we probably will never be able to have to pitch a blue though, right? We probably will never be able to do that. Oh no, I think what we want is we want the non-attack that prevents the opponent from playing D-Reacts from Arsenal as a sideboard card. Yeah, release the tension. And we have one more card. One Sleep Dart. Let's go. Let's go find someone in talishar desperate enough. Vinset, okay. Versus Vinset, I think we always want to go first. Do we want to... I don't think Vinset can go to fatigue, so we should run the enchanted quiver. I don't think we want to set up OTK stuff. They want the sleep arrow. I think it's better than infecting. Release whatever. Traps, no. Let's go. So... I think I simply want to set up the searing shot, so I'm pathing Helix. Perfect. So we set up the Bolton shot as well. And now I pass. Okay. I think I can use Snapdragon Scalers from... Oh, they're attacking. That's actually good. I didn't have any use of these extra 2 cards, and I was about to say that I want to use the Snapdragon Scalers. And I really don't mind that, because it plays well into my hand if they have a Succumb. I mean, they need to have another attack here to actually manage to Succumb me. Revel in weapon? Revel in the weapon, wow. Yeah, I'm skipping all rune chance. $20 damage, turn 0, Vinset, no setup, wow. That was wild. So... I think we... Yeah, I think that's how we spread. We throw a huge Bolton shot with all the hit effects, and then we show a puny steering shot. I don't want to have Arsenal in order to be able to utilize the Death Dealer with this deck. It's a D-React. Bloodrot is not the best thing in the Vinset because they have Dirge. I think I'm going to pitch the Gnap. I mean, I can load both of them, but I don't have the rain thing. Oh, and we got a Bolton shot. That's fancy. So now I can simply shoot a Bolton shot into a Codex searing shot actually, and leave the pathing Helix face up. Yeah, I mean, the deck, with the amount of arrows we run, actually the 3 copies of Rain Razor made a lot of sense. Not Rain Razor, Rapid Fire actually made a lot of sense. But that's the thing, as an aggressive deck, having all these extra attacks to block is not a bad thing. You also play the block 4 plus 3 next card this turn. So I've played with this card a lot, and it feels like you actually need to be able to have some type of setup for this card. It's not as easy to use. It's not as easy that you simply slam it. Maybe the card is powerful enough that you simply do that, but it feels a lot that you don't always get the effect for free. And Rangers out of Ponders, Ranger out of Ponders and Three of a Kind, a lot of times has cards in Arsenal and a lot of times it draws random cards. Maybe the future of Ranger is that you're simply using Trench rather than Tunic and you always run this card. Yeah, okay, that's a Snapdragon if I've ever seen one. And even if we miss, I kept premeditate in case we get hit with Purgatory. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I can also get rid of the Seekem Shot, actually. I'll get rid of the Seekem Shot. I'll be greedy. Snapdragon. Rain Razors. I don't want to reload. Premeditate. Tunic. Death Dealer. Okay, load the Remorseless as well. Throw an Endless. Yeah, so with Marlin, a lot of times we get this card in Arsenal, so Death Dealer balanced, yeah. So I feel like the rapid fires, 2 copies are the bare minimum, I feel like. That the rapid, because we get stuck a lot of times with arrows in Arsenal, or we should simply increase the number of our non-attacks. Yes, we Bolting Shot. Oh my freaking god. Yeah, we literally have nothing to do now. How did this happen? Okay. Yeah, so maybe I think we need to increase the number of our buffs. Okay. That here we get hit by inducement, but it's fine. Oh, I should have block with grapple. Okay, so do I shoot a huge remorseless? I think I simply shoot both and pitch the rain razors. Yeah. So let's spread the effects. Yeah, I should have used the Merkmire to block. That was a punt. Because now I won't have my arsenal cleaned. Keep all rune chants, and what, I simply need the block for 6. Okay, they don't have... Yeah, I think that's... we simply block with Remorseless. Okay, and now we... Rapid... Merkmeyer... Yeah, Rapid looks like a must if we want to play these many arrows. In this game, we've literally played almost 0 copies of 3 of a kind. So that's 3, 5. Okay, we do that. That's coming for 4. Tunic. And block with Searing Sword. Block with Endless. I think I actually want to do it the other way around. Oh, but now I can't do that. No, I should have simply opened with 3 of a kind and load 2 arrows, one of them hopefully with go again. But I was looking for an attack, for a non-attack. So probably we need 3 copies of Rapid Fire if we want to run these many arrows. Because Rapid Fire always had our most powerful turns. Okay, we rain razors, we rapid fire, bolting shot. Yeah, no reason to keep the rapid fire, that was a punt there. Whoa. Yo, what's up, Golden Donkey? How are you doing, mate? I think Riptide does the stuff you want to do better than Marlin with a slightly different build, of course. The running 3 of a kind is not thing to be ignored with. But maybe you're right. Maybe new Riptide does some things better. I'm great, thanks. How are you? Here, just chilling, being insane about the new banner restricted. and being super excited. I was 100% was expecting Death Dealer to get the chop, but apparently it didn't. What's your opinion on the LL change? I haven't played much LL, to be honest, but I think I need to start because if it starts to return as one of the core formats, I think we need to play some more. As a player that hasn't played a lot of Living Legend, I really dislike the fact that they banned Crown of Seeds, because Crown of Seeds or the LL points change on not the Living Legend system. Okay, so it makes sense in some way. I mean, because right now what LSS did pretty much was that make the promise that whenever a new set comes out, if a player buys into some of the new heroes, even if the hero is completely busted, they will get a year of playing that hero. Uh... So it seems interesting, and also it helps a bit with the dynamic of it helps a bit with the problem that currently Bravo and Dash OG have, that you know, they are super close into hitting Living Legend, but because they are a bit out of shape, they are still, you know, stuck in the equilibrium of 900 points. So no one commits to these heroes because they are a literal step away from getting the chop. I want my Husk back. Oh, they banned Husk in Living Legend. Razor, Tunic, Death Dealer. I don't think I need a Hit Seeker. Razor, Tunic, Drill Shot, Codex. If it's an arrow, I get the arrow face up and use Snapdragon. If it's not, I fetch a Bolting Shot, yeah. So Razor, Tunic, Death Dealer. We got a buff, that's insane. Premeditate, Seek, Codex. And that way we also play around the... That way we also play around the Purgatory. But that also means we are getting busted decks keep around for more. A good thing if they don't get aggressive with the bans. So my understanding with the banning of Germinate is that they are planning to be more aggressive with the bans. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, that Germinate bans is literally that. They are planning to be more aggressive with the bans. Okay, 6, 7. I take the Arcane. I think I pitch the Rain Razors. I think I pitch the Rain Razors. Or I can do a setup turn here. Yeah. I mean, we are going to shoot at least one more arrow. Yeah, let's go. No, talishar. Okay. Okay. Okay, we snap. Three of a kind. And we falcon with searing shot. Falcon. Okay, we definitely block 3. I can decide what to run for Bologna between Brutes and Vincent. Vincent is in a great spot right now. Vincent is in a really great spot right now, I think. And you know, if Florian gets a bit more declined, you know, push on the tips to the moon. Ugh. Ah, that's a horrible hand. I think we equip. Oh my god. Yeah, we definitely need more buffs in this deck. Okay. Don't want to load though, that's the problem. Seek and destroy. I use Codex. I fetch. I still don't have a red Bolton shot. Okay, if that's the case, I'm just going to get a Falcon Wing and leave it there. Oh, it's face down, I can't do that. 9 euro from 1. Yeah, I think in this list we need slightly more buffs apparently. And we definitely need the third rapid back. Yeah, because rapid is one of the few ways we get to actually clean our arsenal. And which is the worst arrow? So you have a Riptide deck build, pretty much. Riptide seems wild with the new cards. Riptide seems really good. What is this hand? so that means I prevent one, prevent another one. Keep. Riptide also used the block better than other rangers. You want the trends in non-Lexi, non-Azala ranger. I agree. Oh, they had the dirge, right? Wheel Hunt. Ah, and now they get the extender. Yeah, probably that was game. That extender here cost us the game. Yeah. Waiting for the podcast episode. Yeah, we'll probably record that on Thursday. Hello, what's the podcast name? It's actually in Greek, so I don't know if you will enjoy that a lot. It's in the channel called Φαμπιστικά Αγχωτικά. Oh, I can't even not block. Yeah, so I think we need to be able to be slightly more aggressive, and that means we either need the third copy of rapid fire or we need more buffs. And maybe versus Vincent we want to be slightly slower. I mean, we got destroyed this game by that Sakam. That Sakam gave them a lot of tempo. The rest were pretty expecting. We had some really bad hands, but that's to be expected if we overrun the arrows. Phantom Wraith, take the one, shoot. So, okay, 7. Shoot. Yeah, that theirs was game. No! We were winning this game. No, no! Yeah, but I mean, it's still pretty close. Traditionally, Vincent is not enjoying playing into Ranger. It was fun. Good game. So, what do we want to change? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think the one cost arrows are the weaker ones, because I already, it's really hard to pitch with this deck, because most of the time I want to play every single one of my cards. But that's the problem, I still get stuck with random arrows in Arsenal, and I really don't enjoy that. I don't think I'm supposed to run cards like Yellow Falcon Wing. That's too much. Maybe Rapid Fire is the way to save this. Maybe with the third copy of Rapid Fire, I get stuck with arrows. Perch Trust. I mean, if we add Perch, the problem with Perch is that the arrows are face up. Because the problem is we get stuck with face up arrows with Marlin, not with face down. So we can probably generate a slot between Remorseless and Hitseeker and say that when we want to have the Remorseless effect, we don't really care about Hitseeker, and when we want Hitseeker, we don't really care about Remorseless. No, it makes no sense. No, I think we need to play some more games. Because I feel that the arrows are too many, but maybe I should simply cut the Gnapnels because they don't achieve anything. Maybe we should simply move them to the sideboard. And do we have... yeah, but I need to make 3 slots. I mean, Release the Tension is strictly better. Oh, Gravy Bones. Oh, I always... of course I want to go first. So now versus Gravy. Should we add the setup? Should we add the Dream? Or do we want to be aggressive? So we definitely want the Quiver of Abyssal. The question is, should I go for the combo or not? I mean, we need to test it out, I guess. But no, I don't think I can do that. I think versus Gravy, you need to be able to keep up the tempo and not let him overwhelm you. So let's take this approach of trying to not get overwhelmed. Okay, I don't agree with Flexors. I think Mage Master are strictly better. I think I load the Bolting Shot and try to set up a no-pitch turn. I set up the Bolting Shot and the take aim. Yeah, but if they play an ally, I won't hit Seeker. Okay, let's actually do it like this. And I get a Codex. Ah, that means I can set up the Hit Seeker face up and do stuff like take aim, Bolting Shot, Codex, and then throw the Hit Seeker. Okay, let's see. Gold-baited hook is really good in Gravy. I can't count right now. Let's take the 2. Okay, they activated Gravy. They don't have an ally. Okay, that was a weak... They're not even playing from the hand, an ally. They are stuck. Okay. That was not a good turn to get stuck, my friend. They came... It's not like we have an insane turn. I mean, I simply think we shoot the Hit Seeker. I mean, we shoot the Hit Seeker, and if they do anything weird, we can snap dragons and keep going. Should we do that? We get them a Murderous Rabble in their arsenal, yes. We get them a Murderous or a Standing Order. If I get a buff, I can play both. I think that's much better. Okay. I guess I shoot the drill shot. And the -1 on flexors will be good in the long run. Okay. They get a ram, sure. Into Morey Lefray. I think that's one of the slower allies, so I don't really care to kill her. So Falcon Wing gets the chop, right? Yeah. I can't play it somehow. Yeah, that's the only bad thing with face down Codex of Frailty. If we can't dump our whole hand, it does nothing. I guess I can use it in the dealer to leave it in the deck. That's not irrelevant in this matchup. And I think we go for... we can go for the Hit Seeker. We can go for the Hit Seeker. At some point they want to develop, and we haven't let them develop yet. Premiere is Friday, yes, it's this weekend. So in few days we will know the full set. We could get rid of Morai Lefray, and Hitseeker is a good target to kill them with that, but I have a Rain Razor, so I don't want to waste the hit effect, the +2 damage on an ally. Yeah, that's a really smart line to get the 1 resource of Dread and get the +1 counter with the instant allies. That will be a normal sequence for Gravy Bones. Okay. That's really bad. I think I need to play Remorseless. Because at least it will be a way to dump my hand. Yeah. And that's the problem I have with Marilyn right now. With the way our list is currently. That's my only problem. I think I get rid of the seeding shot. I mean, if we don't get a buff, it's horrible, right? But if we don't get a buff with Sikkim shot, we can still have a turn. But I won't have Tunic, so that's way more inefficient. I won't play around that. Still asking for the trends. Maybe that's the way. Maybe we simply add trends and return fire. Let's... Okay, let's play it aggressively and Arsenal the Bolton shot. And we didn't get a buff. Good lord. We were in such control of this game and we missed 2 turns back to back. Oh my freaking god, I'm switching to trends. I'm switching to trends, that's insane. We were literally winning this game and now we simply lost this game because we missed 2 turns. Yeah, Hook, they think we can do something with our hand. Where did they get a gold from this turn? Or they played a start? Oh, stop drawing arrows! I mean, I can still deny him his gold, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, Perch grapplers would be insane. Turns out the reason Lexi was battled was Voltaire all along, and Lexi flipped. Both of them are true. Okay. Let's kill the Swabble. I think I can simply leave the remorseless face up. Oh, that sounds horrible. I need to combine this 3 of a kind with the yellow card, so I think, yeah, that's what we need to do. Do I kill the Cham? Or do I swing for 8? I think I swing for 8. Yeah, I mean, Voltaire was a busted card. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, it's not that bad. This hand at least is playable. So we don't need the drill shot, we can simply block with that. Oh. We are not doing any of that. Yeah, I think it's time to get rid of Cham. I think it's a good time to get rid of Cham. Yeah, again, we don't have many ways to get go again, though. So that means I should pitch the Codex. I should pitch the Codex to 3 of a kind, other than the Bolting shot. Another Cham. Ah. Actually, no. Actually, we simply take the 8. Yeah, we have a tunic, we have a Death Dealer, pathing, draw, release, bolting shot, whatever. I don't think there is any way, any reason to do that. Cham, sure. Okay, I think we can release the tension bolting shot, shoot the charm. Pitching helix. That will give us a reload. Otherwise we bolt in. No, I think that's what we're supposed to do. Sure. Release. And I think we simply play a 3 of a kind. Okay. The first functional 3 of a kind we played. Codex will be quite annoying to keep in Arsenal, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Because even if we can tank the discard and fetch a bolting shot and then use Death Dealer to keep going. Oh! Uh... Yeah, there is no way I'm blocking here. Okay, so I can play everything, play the 3 of a kind, miss, but we still have 2 reloads. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Play all the buffs, play 3 of a kind. Okay. Play Codex. I'll discard the rapid fire probably. That's a bolting shot. Yeah, I think shoot the bolting shot face. I don't think they can keep cards for, yeah, they can't keep to play the CNC and block the bolting shot. And if they don't block the bolt and shot, I get an extra buff. And I ignore the swabble probably, and I simply go for face. Because if I keep the subble, you know, it's pretty much the same to having to block the CNC or having to block the subble. It seems pretty much the same. Take 7. Okay. I'm reloading. Seek and destroy. Play the Seek and destroy. Death dealer. Get the hit seeker. So now we either throw 7 at face and we get them at 2, or we simply get rid of the swabble. On their turn they can 1 and 5 go again. That's not enough. Yeah, we get rid of the swabble, because if we leave the swabble they simply take the 7, go down to 2 and CNC into swabble. That's probably game. We are struggling to get go again and clean our arsenal. Even with the 3 extra buffs. Why would they play Call the Grave? I think they weren't supposed to. Oh, they fetched some, but they don't have resources to play that. They get the +1, and they can't even play a mate. Oh, they are going to pop a gold. Okay. If they get a blue, they can play a hook, but if they don't get a blue, that's it. Okay. And they use the flexors. Okay, so that means they won't have many things to develop, and I think they're planning to go for the fatigue now. They also use the moray. Okay, that's not the end of the world, because next turn we can kill the cook pretty easily, and they put us on a 2-turn clock, which is not the end of the world. But now they need a blue. Oh, we have a good hand. We have a really good hand. Sure, get your gold. Back for 4, no worries there. I think we have a lot of damage here. Should I go for the kill or should I get rid of the cook? I think I should get rid of the cook first. Even though the 3 damage is quite relevant, the thing is that without the cook they need to keep at least 2 cards to threaten lethal. Yeah, and I don't think there is a way for us not to play our whole hand. Talishar is drunk. I love the fact that they take the 1 because that means they can't ignore unless they give the chest. Okay, so they take 4. And they keep a 2-card hand. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Hearty cook, hearty cook. And the rapid fire came just in time. Play Chum. Oh, they want to attack. I don't need the bolting shot. Take 2. So, rapid fire. Use Chum, yeah. Don't worry, I was planning on that. Endless Shadow. Get the Endless back into my hand. Should I draw? I mean, that's an extra reload. I think not. I think I'm supposed to Death Dealer for here. Or I should shoot face. No, I think I'm supposed to bullseye. Should I get rid of the... They get rid of that. I'm at 1 and... No, she has 0 counters. Yeah, let's just shoot face. Zoom. Whoa! Endless Hour and Rapid Fire. Who would have thought that it does things? Okay, that was really interesting. I think the deck starts to make way more sense now. Probably we should use the trends. We should do what Hugh Priest says. We should probably change the tunic into a trench and use the return fire. And use return fire. So probably we don't need all that setup, the super combo. Maybe simply get an energy potion for the boots. That's good enough. The gold seems irrelevant. But the gold gives us an extra arrow and the rapid turn. Huh. Maybe there is a universe where we... Should we jump on the copium again with Tri-Shot? Tri-Shot and gold? Tri-Shot and gold with Marilyn? But we can only use Marilyn once per turn. So we pop a gold, get a harpoon, use Death Dealer, equip it. Yeah, everything revolves around rapid rain razors, rapid fire. Okay, let's attempt to run the deck once more like this. Gonna refill coffee. Okay, so there are a few more cards that we don't have access to. So we are still expecting here a few Majestics. We are expecting here one more Majestic. Play some FaB, what the fuck. Actually, we should play some FaB. Isn't Syndra better positioned though? Because I think one of the main reasons to play FaB was probably to combat the Earth heroes. But since now that won't be the case, is there any reason not to replace Syndra? And why didn't they give us the expansion slot cards? Yeah, Syndra probably is much better, a lot for the matchup. Yeah, I agree. They haven't given us the full expansion slot cards though. LSS is super cheating. LSS is super giga cheating. I mean, that's the thing, and regarding the old heroes, the only info we have is Bernbear and Herald of Sekhem. Maybe we can play some Katsu, now that we have access to bonds. But I mean, Marilyn has a lot of work. I think we are going to devote a few games in Marilyn. The only problem is that everyone keeps playing Gravy Zones. And we are not actually testing stuff. Oh, it's CF again. Oh, I put it the wrong quiver. Yeah, if we go second, we should run the other quiver. Play Diamond Amulet for second copy. Oh! You're a genius. You're a genius. That's exactly what we were missing with this deck. Oh my god. Yeah, we can't let that live. But wait, isn't Diamond Amulet pretty much a gold key SRAM? Isn't Tip the Barkeep much better? Diamond Amulet is insane in engraving because he can play it from graveyard. So, should we set up the Return of Fire? We might not need the 3 of a kind. I think I'm supposed to arsenal the 3 of a kind here and simply kick it away. Yeah. I had the tingling. My tingling sense. And also, do you think Florian is now fatigable now that he doesn't have Germinate? Is this the way? We have 2 more packs. Sorry, I opened everything, so I'm just going to slam these 2 packs open. We got a charm. Standing order, that's really nice. Does Goldkiss allow you to go again on reaction step, or is it next action? It is next action, it's not as good as Snappy's, you're right in that regard. But effectively we don't really care. I think we can equip a bunch of arrows and use the gold use ram, so we should keep the bolting shot. I guess we can even open with Death Dealer and equip the endless arrow. Diamond Amulet is way better. The problem with Diamond Amulet is that it consumes an action point, while Tip the Barkeep simply it has go again, and this is a 3 block. So let's go for the load of the Endless and we'll see about the trigger of Marilyn. I think we can shoot an annoying arrow face, ignoring the D-reacts. Trench makes the deck much more smooth. Aha! We got a lot of cards out of this box, out of this case. I don't think we should expect more. I had the D-react in hand, okay. We have made the call that they have a D-react in Arsenal, so I think we should actually go for the Sam. And I think I can keep stacking the 3 of a kinds. That can't be irrelevant. Should we actually try to fatigue them? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's a bit greedy not to block with Remorseless. But I think we need to pitch that. Yeah, here we would have Tunic. But is 3 of a kind good enough that we don't care? Maybe it is. So we open with a drill shot face now that it has the buff. And we are setting up a Remorseless with a Rapid, a 3 of a kind. Giving the -1 to Flexors is quite relevant if drill shot goes through. Using Flexor. I don't mind them using Flexors on this turn. So we kill the Swabby. We got another Endless, wow. It's only 5 damage, is it good enough? I think we can simply use the Quiver here and shuffle the graveyard and keep a take, leave a take in Arsenal. But we don't have 3 arrows, 1, 2, 3. I think it's fine because we also put the endless arrows on the bottom with a remorseless. I think it's good enough. We destroy our codexes, but we need any arrow. I guess it's fine. Yeah. Hmm. So here we should double block. So our turn is take aim, falcon shot. No, we simply get the pitch and we load the other two. Yeah, that's our turn. And we get rid of the hook. So we falcon the sawbones. I think we should codex. Falcon. They've dealt a lot of damage, but we are in a pretty solid position because we are still threatening 7. 6. The compass is pretty good in Gravy Bones, but I think Talishar is also decent as well. I don't mind that. I don't mind them using a D-React here. Because that means they will have access to one less card. They still have a gold, but they no longer have the hook. That's pretty good. Ah, Bolt Shot Blue not the best here. They get a ram. But they don't have any ally in the graveyard now. Oh, they are going to Gravy Bones. And get the Sawbones, okay. I think we can Death Dealer and Seekem Shot and hit Seeker the Sawbones. Yeah, the deck is much more smooth with that. Oh. Block with Seekem Shot. Whatever I draw. Get one resource, whatever I draw I pitch. So I think we can block. Yeah, because we get a card back. Yeah, get the one resource. Yeah. So we get the one resource with Death Dealer. I think I will kill the summons with that. Even though we miss the extra card from Hit Seeker, that's not the end of the world. Because I much rather shoot for 5 and force a 2-card block from them. It feels like we are playing well into fatigue now. We still have all of our endless arrows. We've killed 2 dogs, which is one of the most annoying heroes. They are running out of gold. No, they still have 2 gold. They can still activate Gravy. I knew I could smell the return fire on top of our deck. I could smell it. I could smell the return fire. Oh. If they attack, that's actually decent. Oh, they missed. They simply made the gold. Okay, so I'm pitching the return fire probably for the Heat Seeker. Yeah. And we got the Rain Razors. Okay, since we got the Rain Razors, we can simply add the Bolting Shot. Shoot the Bolting Shot. That's another D-React. Okay. They have a lot of defense reactions, but that means they are just more subtle to fatigue. Great card to get. That's a great hunt. That means we will take some damage here. I don't want... We need to maintain our position with the life. If we are not forced to block random attacks, I think we're in a great spot, but we need to play this hand. Hopefully we'll generate enough tempo that they won't have the luxury. What? Oh, they need to put a blue in graveyard to play. Okay. They're not attacking. Ah. I don't think our ratios off because of return fire. Yeah, okay. Maybe we are simply not supposed to run rapid fire, return fire in this matchup, but they are attacking in general. Maybe 3 copies are too many. Trench is definitely smoother. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 33. More than half of our deck are autos. So that means drawing 3 cards, it's 1 in 8. 1 every 8 3 of a kinds we play will draw 0 autos. Okay, let's attempt to do something. Let's cut 1 return fire. Maybe 3 are too many. Add this one. Add the infecting shot. And purge grapplers. Let's go. Mage Master and Crown of Dominion. Okay, that's a much more aggressive list. I think we should simply load the face-up hit seeker. Is there any... We can attack turn 0. Is it... I think we should attack turn 0. I think there are some merits in attacking turn 0. So I think we should load the hit seeker. The Remorseless. And shoot the Remorseless. Because we remove 2 of their blocking cards from their deck. Yeah, it's not irrelevant to attack turn 0, the Gravy. We have a defensive hand. Lead the Charge, that's also an interesting card. Yeah, because they play Sobons and they get 2 action points. Okay. Release. Release, shoot the bolting shot, pitch something. Kill Sobons. Doggy. Cuba. So release. We can clear the board actually. I mean, the dog is not that efficient. We will kill it at some point, but I don't mind asking for cards or dealing 6. But maybe you should go all in on trying to fatigue Gravy Bones. Nah, Armored Decor expansion slot. Do you think the Gravy Bones will be weaponless? Armored Decor expansion slot. Yeah, I mean, probably, but it wouldn't be too surprising for me to leave him weaponless. I don't see what his weapon could do. Lone Shark, okay. Oh, we can have a huge turn coming up. Yeah, here that we have the life lead, I'm much more fine to take the hit. If his weapon is... if Gravy Bones has a weapon that can actually attack, it will change a lot of dynamics regarding fatigued. But I don't think his weapon will be attacking. It will probably be more like an illusionist type of weapon. I could see something along the lines of, you know, pay 2, attack with an ally with +2 or something like that. Oh, they get rid of my Bolton, so then they get an extra gold. They've already played Lone Shark this turn, so I don't mind that. Yeah, but they give me a card in deck. So take aim. Take aim. 3 of a kind. There was no reason to play 3 of a kind there. That was a mistake. We could have simply pitched the 3 of a kind and pitched something else and return with the endless. I think we punted here. No reason to play the 3 of a kind. Yeah, effectively all we needed was pitch 1 and we still had an arsenal. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. We could have simply blocked for 3. Trigger Mortis. Oh! Oh! Sure, I guess. I think I prefer to keep the bolt and shot in the deck and draw and cantrip that. Yeah, because we might be forced to block with Endless here. Okay, they're putting a counter. Still have some, but they haven't played the blue. Or Gravy player self-handicapping. Yeah, I think so. There was this card game back in the day, like on the LCG era, called the Netrunner, and in that card game you had a lot of access to the sequencing of things you were doing, because even the draw was not mandatory. You had to spend an action to draw, and a great saying in that card game was that whenever you have an option, whenever you're planning to use some actions to draw cards, you should always do that first to access the extra information out of the new cards. And that's a good rule of thumb in Flesh and Blood as well, that whenever you have cards that generate more information, you should open your sequencing with all the information and then start planning ahead. You shouldn't take actions if you have like 90% our opponent was going to play the Conqueror of the High Seas, but they probably, it would be much better to access to the extra information they had with popping the gold and then playing the Conqueror of the High Seas, because now they might have a blue that doesn't have natural go again and they can't trigger the Gravy Bones, while if they drew a random blue they could pitch the random other blue and keep either tip the Barkeep or chart the High Seas and then do that. I'm more overrun the last click gamer. Yeah, me too. No, Zul. So, Trends makes everything smooth, much more smoother with Marilyn. So, it feels snare. Big, you know, man. I used to love running into I used to love running without any programs into servers. I think that was my favorite moment. The adrenaline high of running without any programs. Yeah, so it looks like that the traditional aggro with Marlin works a lot. Your runner, yeah. So it looks like the traditional aggro with Marlin works quite well, and mainly what you get is that you get some fancy plays and the three of a kind. Is it good enough? Probably it is, because the rapid fire does some wild lines. Is it better than Azalea traditional aggro? I'd say it's different. I'd say that in the New Horizon build, I think Azan right now has a pretty clear direction. And the Azalea, if you want to play Azalea, you should probably be running the, you know, heavy opting and the dominate stuff and the spare snipings, etc., etc. Where if you want to run a pure numbers deck, I think Marlin is strictly better. And Trent smooths out a lot of things, because that's the thing with between three of a kind and Codex and Endless. A lot of times card advantage is completely irrelevant. So the tunic is not that big of a deal. But maybe because of that, we are supposed to build the deck with slightly more yellows. Like go up to 15, run one more yellow card. Because pitching a yellow for the dealer is probably what we're planning to do. And with this deck, because you want to run three of a kind, it's not like you will be doing that thing with Azalea where you play a quadrillion buffs into a huge arrow. Yeah, it looks like our opponent is inactive. Yeah, they messed up here. Oh, they're running yellow fly high. I think, yeah, I can see their reasoning, but blue lead the chart was a great idea though. And I think out of all the allies, the ally I like the least is the doggy. I think the dog is simply too slow. Yeah, I can see why they're running fly high. They want to be using fly high in order to have some extra yellows. And they are planning to be a more aggressive and proactive list. That's quite interesting. They have quite an interesting list with Gravy. And they are more into the aggressive game plan of playing flying high, extending, but I think whenever you're playing a non-attack during your turn, it should be something that activates Gravy Bones. I mean, between lead the charge, there are good replacements. I mean, you have Tip the Barkeep, you have blue flying high, you have lead the charge blue if you want to go that deep, you have the amulet. Because I feel like with this deck, you're going to get a lot of brick hands where you can do nothing. And they have probably trimmed out allies to run flying high. Well, in this hand, flying high, if it was an ally, it would still be horrible, but they could still block with Comer of the High Seas and develop two allies. Anyway. So, should we attempt... Is there any way that a Marilyn build works with the harpoons and Death Dealer? I think no, right? I think it's pretty clear that there are two completely different builds. And you're either supposed to be running the other package or you're supposed to run the harpoon package. So yeah, so there is no reason I think to tinker. I thought that the ban and restricted announcement was going to get rid of the Death Dealer. So that's why during testing the first few days I simply was trying other stuff. But now that we have we know that Death Dealer is legal, maybe we should try and find what's the powerful thing that the harpoon cannon Marlin can achieve. So first of all, we need trends. Let's have a game. Let's have a game first. The problem is that this list is probably much weaker with Gravy, and everyone playing in the open is probably going to be playing Gravy. Oh, okay. So, versus Marilyn. I think they will be attacking every turn. So, should we go for the gold-baited hook? I think we should go for the gold-baited hook. But if we want to play the gold-baited hook, we should run a few copies of Take Aim. I have no idea about the ratios. Probably running 64 is always a mistake, but let's do that and pray. So we have a Take Aim. The problem is that if I set up a 6-card hand, I won't have go again. But I guess I can simply attack and let's shoot a huge endless arrow, but that will get rid of my arsenal. I don't think setting up a harpoon matters. I think I'm shooting an endless arrow. We will arsenal the harpoon. If we don't like the harpoon, we are simply going to kick it away and use return fire. I think now we like the harpoon. I mean, we can simply block with return fire, not trigger the effect, and keep the yellowfin harpoon. Actually open with yellowfin harpoon. Or we can simply use the hammerhead and use the conqueror. It's not the best, but maybe Command of the Conqueror of the High Seas. What was the other name we were using for this card? It was still good enough. I mean, that will most likely ask for 3-card block. I don't think you can afford to let the opponent deal you 8 and get a card in ours and get a gold. The problem with headshot is that you can never put it face up. I think they probably aren't aware of this interaction, but headshot is great with return fire, huh? Headshot into return fire. It's a lot of damage. Okay, I think with that we maintained some tempo. Not a great hand. Horrible hand, actually. And we pass. Insane. Yeah, that's probably the reasons why in the slower build we shouldn't be using endless and stuff. Yeah, but now that's the thing with the bluefish harpoon. I don't know what yet. Maybe I should have kept the block. Second bluefish harpoon. Yeah, I'd much rather have the other arms here. Maybe that's too greedy to run the gold-baited hook. Maybe we can't afford to run the gold-baited hook because of situation like this. Codex of Blood makes a lot of sense. Maybe more sense than Take Aim. I don't think they can block it either here. I'm fine trading the hook with her equipment. So what, we lose 2 gold? We lose 2 gold and we get rid of their equipment? Sure, and we lose the hook. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like the arms. I would rather have the other ones. The only thing was that we should have blocked, maybe. I was never expecting them to do that, to be honest. I mean, now they are trying to rush. They are trying to rush down the game to snowball on the advantage they already have, but they need to have a really powerful turn here. They've already popped 2 gold to do nothing. If they miss here, that's the problem. That's the problem with running a lot of cards that don't achieve many things. Oh, Codex of Blood to the save. Nice. Oh, they simply had buffs. Yeah, oh, into Codex. Okay. They haven't activated the harpoon, so it's just damage. Shark harpoon, that reveal if it's an attack action card. So we block with the Rider shot. Take some damage. They are quite ahead currently. But we also have a very powerful turn here. And they have the selection between two cards, but we will disrupt them this turn. But they have a huge life lead. We are literally one whole turn back, so we need them to miss a turn. Okay. Let's see the ponder first. Okay, that's a hunt. The good thing here is that even if they do something that requires interaction, we can keep a 2-card hand. Drill shot is better. We don't have a turn, but we can set up a Conqueror, and they don't have a way to reload currently. I think Helix is actually better. Should I simply swing for 7 though? I think I should simply swing for 7. Or I swing for 4. And Arsenal, that's pretty much 7. Let's do that. If I get a single blue, I can kick away and play the Conqueror. If I get 2 blues, I can Conqueror into Arsenal, attack into something else. I mean, we have some options. We don't have a yellow. They do have some yellows. Did you get a gold? That's a good hand. Because that actually presents the fact that we have something else and Conqueror will get them. So it really depends here if they have a good turn or not. Bro, it's Katsu meta. Yo, what's up, Kabi? Probably it is. I won't lie to you. Probably it is a Katsu meta. Redfield Harpoon is fine, so if they don't have any other extra effect... Oh, that seems like a Codex. CNC. I don't mind full blocking. I really don't mind full blocking. Blocking 6. Take the 1. I mean, we need some type of card to give us back the tempo, and that's a 3 of a kind or a Codex. Carpet, sure. Nice. And that's insane. We have a great hand here. If they don't have interaction here, they're in a really bad spot. But that's been pretty much every turn. And finally they missed, or did they have a Codex? Come on. They haven't missed a turn! Yeah, okay. That's game. Good game. Yeah, our turn was... Zank Rally the rare gold foolish gold meta for me. Goldman in a state life. So we had a searing shot for 5 into draw these 3 cards, which are horrible, but we would load the King Shark's Harpoon, and then we would pitch the rest of our hand for the Harpoon. We had one floating. That's 2, 3, 4. We were one resource short. No, we had 2 floating of searing shot. And that's 2, 3, 4. No, that was exact. So we could activate Harpoon again. So they weren't running the bolting shots. They were running lace. They were running more buffs. And I guess Codex of Frailty makes sense by pitching 2 blues for Harpoon into Codex. So that's probably the way to play Harpoon, huh? No small cost arrows. That was interesting. And I guess they had slightly more blues compared to us. And they weren't running. I still think Return Fire is great. Return Fire probably is great because you still don't want to have any cards in Arsenal. So compared to our 2-cost non-attack, they were running Codex of Bloodrot in that slot. And rather than Bolting Shot and Endless, they were into... CNC. I think Return Fire is mid. It has definitely underperformed. It has definitely underperformed, but I still think the card is good. Because if you have so many ways to reload, not having an arsenal in order to be able to play with Return Fire seems good. Yeah, I mean, you need an empty arsenal lines, right? Yeah, I mean, and you can have a lot of empty arsenal lines between gold, probably the other arms, if I'm being honest. Between bullseye bracers, codex, three of a kind, return fire, you have a lot of ways to do a no arsenal line. Probably big game trophy then is the bait. But if I'm not running the hook, I do like to have an extra way of accessing that. So the cards we don't like are Bolting Shot and Endless. I mean, the only high roll is that sometimes we do these cute premeditate Bolting Shot lines. Big Game Trophy is goated. I agree as well. I do like Big Game Trophy. I also moved Bolting Shot and Endless to sideboard. Yeah, it feels like that should be the way. Should we run Lone Shark? That's another question for me. And I cut Lone Shark. Yeah, the thing with Lone Shark is that it's pretty easy with Marilyn to get rid of the negative. And most of the time 2 golds are more than enough. But if we simply run something in the Pirate Blues, that's also somewhat of a meme. Keep the Barkeep, huh? And what? Run like 2 copies of CNC? So, should we consider... What do you think about Codex of Bloodroot? Oh, you run Codex of Bloodroot rather than CNC. And you still run Premeditate? Hmm. 30, and we ended up with 33 blues. Oh, you run Take Aim as well, rather than Return Fire. I think I'll keep trying the Return Fire. Okay, let's... Running the Codex of Bloodrot makes Codex of Frailty slightly better. Hmm... Okay, let's cut a card. Let's cut a blue. What's the worst arrow? Probably that's the worst arrow. Let's run a single Death Touch. I mean, between codexes and, you know, between 5 codexes and sometimes having Guardian turns, having access to Death Touch sometimes should be decent. Is this a Battering Ball deck? I think it is, because it fits very well into the curve, but that's probably a sideboard card. Let's run one more game like this. No fuse Lexi. Okay, that looks like the aggro list. Yellow Sikkim Shop, they go all in. Okay, let's bullseye bracers. Oh, they block flag with 3 of a kind, so that's pretty likely it's their only non-attack. Nice. It looks like they're pretty heavy on the combo line. Should I put that in Arsenal? I think I shouldn't. Do I care about one resource in this deck? I don't think I care about one resource in this deck. I think I'm skipping Arsenal. Take 2. I know they have an infecting blue, right? But they might debate me. I don't mind losing some value here. Yeah, but that's the thing. Which card in Arsenal would be relevant? It's not like we are playing Azalea. It's not like we are playing Azalea and whichever card we draw is 3 value. I think I'm always loading the arrow here. Yeah, which one is the correct one though? The left one is the correct one? Yeah. We are looking for a non-attack again. No non-attacks. Oh, should we block with a card? No, I think we should actually play Tip the Barkeep. Tip the Barkeep or 3 value. I think blocking 3 is actually more important here. But if we shoot two Kraken, 2 Harpoons, will we be threatened lethal next turn? That's the question. That's 5 and another 6, that's 11. We go down to 11 plus 3, 14. We won't be threatened lethal, so we will have turn to shoot 1 more arrow, and 1 more arrow is all we need. So I think I'm blocking. Destroyed. Yeah, that codex was game. Also considering Sharpshooter's dead, I line it up. Oh! Oh, they drew the codex afterwards. They drew the codex afterwards of Death Dealer. They didn't have the codex back into their hand, that's why we didn't see that. That was silly. Huh? I think they're meant to activate Purge Grapplers first. So to have trends to shoot the better arrow. Why was it better? Oh, you mean the one we drew from hand? You're right. Yeah, I didn't think of that line. Yeah, we should have definitely done that. What? Endless for 4, okay. We've seen their hand, we know they have nothing, so... Block for 3. Yeah, but if we draw a red, we simply won't play the codex. If we draw a blue, we can simply play the harpoon. Okay, I think that's fine. My initial vibe is to play more Guardian style, so inclined to reduce my 2 block and lean heavier on return fire. Also considering Sharpshooter's dead, I line it up, yeah. The problem with that is that I really don't like them if they don't have the activation of the aim counter. Okay, so we codex them. Okay. Okay, we know they don't have a buff, so I can still block though, right? Yeah, I don't think it matters. So our next turn was premeditate 3 of a kind, and we would draw these 3 crap cards. And we have 1 floating, so pitch the extra blue for the big guy trophy shot. So we will draw this one and discard the death touch. And we would still shoot a huge king harpoon for lethal. Okay. Okay, things start to make sense. I think the biggest bait was to attempt to play the OG raids and cards. Yeah, and I completely missed that interaction. Codex of Bloodroot with a random blue can actually extend our hand. So maybe we don't need Death Touch. Hmm. I don't think I like Codex. I think I'm simply kicking away the Codex. Why did I choose to go first then? Who knows? Okay. Okay, so now we big trophy. What's up, Yorgos? Yo, what's up, Cardfight King? How are you doing here? Chilling and testing. Let's think. So I discard. I don't need to discard the Codex. I simply discard the infecting shot. Yeah. And we load. "14 fetching for a non-attack, making a goal." That sounds good. Sounds decent. Oh, they needed the third card in graveyard. I left on the DD build. What happened? Nothing happened. Well, they could have saved themselves. Oh, they wanted to do that, sure. And they knew I couldn't stop myself. Okay. 3 of a kind. I'm missing one resource. Did I make it in time? Yeah, Bellasil, we are about to build a Riptide deck. You're just in time. Of course, never punished! Of course, never punished! We will run research sort. What do you mean? I should get rid of the wild, right? Conqueror with 2 blues and return with Kingslayer. Oh, look, guys, it's Death Touch. What a great card. I mean, I can block here. I can block and set up. Because there are hands where I do nothing next turn. I have 2 gold. Nah, there is no way I'm missing. There is no way I'm missing, and I want to keep flowing with the deck. There is no way I miss here with 2 gold. Okay, that's not the best, but I guess it's fine. With flying high, you have absolutely no reason to have a bow in Riptide. Oh no. It's starting. Okay. Bloodrush, ouch. I think I need all the cards because I need to pop the gold to load. Yeah, I think I need my cards. But Pelazul, we now have access to Sellas of Sarong. Silly Sarong. We have access to this card as Riptide. Our 0/4/4 blue arrow can now have go again out of Arsenal. Wide Riptide meta. Yeah, that Bloodrush was pretty good. 8, we go down to 10. I don't see any problem whatsoever. So we flip, premeditate, 5. Sure. Pop a gold. We reload. The good thing now is that I think it's pretty hard for them to keep a hand that can actually play a Bloodrush. I'll get rid of the wind up, right? Yeah. Perfect card for Arsenal. Okay. They flip. Let's start with the GA. I think we should draw first. Okay. And now we are forcing block. We know we are not getting hit by a Bloodrush with King's Harpoon, and we can block with Horizons and the boots now and shoot another arrow. So out of our equipment, non-attack, okay. Okay. They still go face down, right? I mean, we could Giga Grid here, but no, we don't have an action point. Oh, I messed up. No, I messed up! No, we could be shooting for 5. I'm the worst player I know. We could have shot for 5. Why I can't count? I'm so bad at this game. Okay. I think we should gamble with gold. I mean, I'm simply shooting for 5. Why would I ever do that? There is no way they will miss again. Shooting for 5 asks for a single card. You know what? I think that's how we can win. 2, 3. I'm not playing around the reaction. Playing around the reaction is for weaklings. Oh, Redfish Harpoon? No, 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 no. No need to. Okay. He will probably ask for 3 cards, so that means 3 cards. I will never be able to play High Seas, so I need to play the Yellowfish Harpoon. Do we have anything to do with Codex? We can somewhat threaten lethal with Codex, I guess we're doing that. So can we keep a card? Oh no, we can't. Okay. It's not the end of the world. I think I'm simply going to Arsenal because we need to threaten for the kill at some point because they have the mandible clause. But this is it, if they don't have an extender here. Yo, Kinky Dog, thanks for the follow, welcome. Did we grid? Did we grid? Oh, that's coming for 10, so we can actually shoot. But that's not threatening lethal. Yay, well, one every 2 turns we attack once. Oh, class of agility, GG. Didn't think of that. They even double block, okay. No! No, no. GG. Ah, that was our only 2 block hand. If we had a full block hand again, that was the only turn they could extend. If we could survive this one, we would draw these 4 cards, and then we would shoot back actually for a lot. That was the last turn for them to win the game. That was interesting. Maybe we should have used the blue to quiver. The turn we had the quiver to increase our 3 blocks in the deck. Okay, guys, that was it for today. Tomorrow we'll probably keep testing some decks. I think there are no more spoilers until the premiere this weekend. So, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, have fun, enjoy the spoiler season, and be safe. See ya.